Hey guys, it's Alex with Hammond Watch. Here today with the SRPB41, or the Sari 073. It is the modern Blue Moon cocktail time. If you guys aren't familiar with the cocktail time lineup, they all carry this same kind of dial theme. They're the grandchildren of the SARB 065. It was an ice blue dress watch. It was incredibly popular and discontinued, I guess, semi-recently. I think it was in 2018. But when this lineup came out, I was very excited that they took the design cues and I think really improved upon a few things while taking away one of the better specs in the watch. But a quick run through of the sizing. It's a 40 millimeter case, and when I measure, it's just a shade over. So very much a modern dress watch. You're looking at 47.25 lug to lug, so relatively compact. Right around 12.3, so like 12.3 millimeters tall, a 20 millimeter lug width, and then the bracelet in true dress watch fashion actually tapers down to 18 millimeters at a butterfly clasp. And just to touch on the bracelet real quick, I don't talk highly of Seiko bracelets very often. This one is extremely well executed. I'm not a big butterfly clasp guy, but on a dress watch, I think it's certainly appropriate. You do have folded end links. They're not solid. But that said, I think the look matches the watch incredibly well, and it does have a nice quality feel and look to the finishing. You're getting a Hardlex crystal. Not a huge fan of Hardlex, but again, on dress watches, and especially when you start talking about this heavy dome, I think it's unforgivable. You know, these aren't meant to be knocked around. Also, it kind of gives a little bit of that vintage feel because sapphire is a bit cold to the touch, and Hardlex, much like your acrylic crystals, has a bit more of a warmer touch. I think a few things that have been improved, the indices that are now used, I think are incredible. I think the finishing is crisper. You can see they can play with the light and disappear and then explode off the dial the next second. The framework is phenomenal, and I love that they did a black date wheel. As you get to the edge of the dial, you'll see the light starts to kind of disappear, and a lot of that bursting effect kind of fades to black. The way that the dial plays with the light, the way that it bursts out is what made it so popular to begin with. The handset is just a traditional Dauphine style. I like it because I'm a fan of vintage watches, and I like this seconds hand with the counterbalance kind of loop on the back. I just don't think that there's anything necessarily to write home about with them. Presage, obviously noting Seiko has made an effort to lump all of their watches into very distinct categories. You know, the Presage watches are your dress watches, the prospex your professional divers, the 5 your affordable everyday, and kind of so on. You have an exhibition case back. You can look at the 4R35 movement. It's just the date-only version of the 4R, 40-hour power reserve, 23 joules, plus 45, minus 35 seconds a day. Very reliable, huge service intervals. You're not going to have to take this thing in very often, but at the same time, you're not going to get it an overly accurate watch. Just kind of par for the course when you're talking Seiko. Cupcake crown is a pleasure to use. Great gripping. I think looks phenomenal. You might want it to kind of set into the case just a little bit more. You can kind of see that flat edge and a gap where it looks like maybe it wasn't entirely thought out. Forgivable, it's a $500 retail watch that no one's really going to pay $500 for. So you can look the other way on silly things like that. Very deep engraving of a Seiko S on the crown as well. I think just another testament to its quality of its finish work. The case is entirely polished. I think that this thing would really look killer on any leather strap. When you start talking dress watches, I immediately want to put them on leather. I think that this would be exceptional on a blue or a black alligator strap. But I certainly have no problems with its current bracelet. If you guys are ever interested in anything Seiko, hit David up at Jewelry Works. He has this one in stock. It's going back in the case tomorrow. If you guys have enjoyed the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Have a look at our other videos. Let us know what you like and what you don't. And I'll see you in the next one.